What's up, y'all? Shook here, back with another video on the Preservation Evoker this time, playing some 2v2 with Plum on his Unholy Decay. I'm playing the Chronowarden build, which I will pop up on the screen here in just a second. In this first match, we're playing against a Restoration Shaman and an Arms Warrior. We got our combo there in the opener, which is always going to be decent pressure. Basically, Plum is going to grip them together, do the blind, and then I'm going to use Oppressive Roar, and that's how we want to do it. It doesn't always work out like that. A lot of teams kind of know that it's scripted, so they try and use cooldowns to stop it. This matchup in particular is not a really favorable matchup for us, just because warriors kind of chew through DK. So I'm going to be just trying to keep Plum topped, basically, while the warrior runs after him, and Plum's going to try and cleave both of them. You can see me using my Spirit Bloom there. It looked like it was completely negated. I'm kind of chasing after him. I'm going to go ahead and use my Emerald Communion here. Sometimes I like to use it really early because the matches typically last longer than 3 minutes. This stage is also not my favorite, as I've said in past videos. So one thing that I could have done differently on this matchup is I could have been using Rescue a lot more. Trying to get the full Fire Breath here. I am running the Dispel talent, so you're going to see it remove Earth Shield from the Shaman and the Warrior. So basically, if he doesn't notice, he's going to have to reapply it. It looks like he laid down his Healing Tide and moved it over there so we wouldn't kill it. I'm going to use a Verdant Embrace here just to get a stack up to negate that stun, and then I am going to pick Plum up with Spirit Bloom and some other cooldowns. I'm going to try and sleep the warrior here for just a second, make the Shaman kind of poke his head out. It looks like the Shaman did cage Plum there. Here's all of Plum's cooldowns. And this is kind of, he's trying to put us in an awkward position, but I'm getting the Dream Breath off, so we may be able to take him down right here. You can see me kind of just casting Chrono Flame, and then we actually get the double kill with the Fire Breath there. So not normally how that matchup goes, but still an interesting one here. This next one is a Shadow Priest and a Resto Shaman. We don't see a lot of Shadow Priest in 2v2, but this one played extremely well. I was surprised that we saw one at this MMR, but you know, it's one of those things where Shadow Priest in the right hands can be really tough. So right here I'm trying to kick him, and we got a bunch of pressure in the opener. Looks like he used his Vamp talent there, so he's going to be healing for quite a bit. You can see me getting horrified by all those things on the ground. He chains that into a silence. They're trying to do big damage to Plum. I used Reversion there, and he stunned me, and they got the Fear. So right here I'm just going to go ahead and press Emerald Communion. I don't like to use it this early. I know I said in the last match I like to use it early, but typically I like to use it when it's going to at least get some decent value out of it. But that's one of those things where they were just getting so much pressure. If I fell too far behind, I'm not sure if I would have been able to pick Plum up, especially since I had already used Reversion and it essentially did nothing. Gonna go ahead and sleep the Shaman. Plum's going to stun him off that. The Priest wants me, so I'm probably just going to jump out of here for a second and cast Chrono Flame on myself a couple times just to pick myself back up. Plum still has really good pressure on the Shadow Priest, but you can see their damage is about equal, and Unholy Decay does a bunch of damage this season, so he was actually able to get off my Nullifying Shroud and get me in that Fear, so that did get my Trinket. We still haven't gotten the Trinket from the Shaman, which is a little bit surprising. So here in a second I'm probably going to go for the Sleep, but it looks like he's going for the Hex on me. I'm standing in this orb, but it didn't actually break me out, so that was a little unfortunate. Right here I'm going to try and pick Plum up. Going to do a Dream Breath first, and then a couple Chrono Flames to top him back up. I'm again running that Dispel talent there, so trying to knock off Earth Shield. There's the Spirit Bloom, so it is going to top him. Right here, I probably should have walked up and done the Oppressive Roar while they were together like that, but instead I chose to sleep the Shaman. So that's honestly kind of a blunder, because I had Deep Breath too, so I don't know. It was 100% worth just doing the Oppressive Roar combo there. So right here, I am just trying to negate a little bit of his cooldowns. You can see Plum getting dangerously low. I do get stunned. He has him in the Lightning Lasso. I'm going to get feared. Plum's going to pop Lichborn. That Lichborn's going to reduce his damage taken, and you can see he's also trying to heal a little bit. I'm going to get my Nullifying Shroud up, which is going to stop the stun from the Static Field Totem, but then I do get hexed. I was able to get a few heals off on Plum, Right here I am going to use the wall basically on him, so it's going to last 7 seconds. And in that time frame, I should be able to pick him up. But again, he is taking some big damage here from the Shadow Priest. Again, surprising because I don't know. We just don't normally see them. It's all Ret Paladins and Marksman Hunters. So right here, we did get our full combo off, and we got the Shaman's Trinket. The Priest also has no trinket. Looks like he's going for the Greater Fate, and he went into the Mass Dispel, but we did take him down. So crazy match. Kudos to those guys for playing that comp, especially this season. I'm sure it's super frustrating to play into all the Hunters and the Ret Paladins. This next one is a Destro Warlock and a Resto Shaman. So this one's really interesting because the Resto Shaman is actually playing the Acid Rain talent. So what I want you guys to watch is at the end of the match, I want you to see how much damage this Resto Shaman actually does. So it's funny, I had linked my Delve build a couple videos and people commented and they were like, are you running Acid Rain? And I was like, no, that's a meme. That was only for Delves whenever I was kind of solo, doing Delves as a healer. But yeah, I want you to watch and see how much damage this Resto Shaman does. And you can see him just laying the instant cast healing rains there, and it's doing the Acid Rain damage. But yeah, we got a lot of their cooldowns in the opener. You saw us get both of their trinkets as well as the Warlock's Wall. So we got a bunch of cooldowns there. We still have Emerald Communion and Reversion. I'm going to take this Havoc off with that Cauterizing Flame there. And unfortunately, I'm not able to dispel Plum out of the Hex, but it looks like the damage knocked him out. Right here, we do get them a little low, but then the Warlock is popping some of his cooldowns. Plum's trying to get the double blind there. Unfortunately, I was way too slow with the sleep, so he was able to get Link off, and there's the Reflect. So right here, I may have to press Emerald Communion. I do press it, but is it enough? Barely was able to pick him up and a trinket that and actually use Reversion, because again, this is one of those things where if we just live a little bit longer, we should be able to take down the Warlock. But you can see just a crazy amount of damage. And again, look over to the left at the Resto Shaman's damage, and I've been doing quite a bit of damage in this one, and his is like just basically dwarfing me with that Acid Rain talent. It's kind of crazy. So right here, I'm going for the Sleepwalk. Unfortunately, he did have precog, so I'm going to recast it, and I got it on his Ancestral Swiftness, which was really lucky. So we were able to take them down. Kind of a crazy game. And I might run Acid Rain in some of my games on my Resto Shaman. I don't know now after seeing that. This next one is a Demon Hunter and a Holy Paladin. Holy Paladin uses Magic Bop in the opener to try and let the Demon Hunter kind of kill me in the opener. So what I should have done there is probably use Obsidian Scales, but I was just kind of being greedy with it. And right here you can see it wouldn't let me cast my Root. It's like Blizzard and Z-Axis. They just are a match made in heaven. Right here we do get the Paladin's Wings. I'm trying to go over here and help Plum just connect with the Holy Paladin, because really we want them to be grouped up together so Plum can like cleave and I can dispel them out of stuff like that. But the Demon Hunter is slowing me quite a bit. I missed my Impressive Roar on the Paladin. I was really sad about that one. I do have my Deep Breath, but I'm kind of just trying to hold it, using Spirit Bloom to kind of pick myself up. I have already used Obsidian Scales. You can see Plum stun the Demon Hunter here, and I'm just kind of hanging behind to make sure I'm completely topped. I do have Time Dilation still, so that's probably going to be, if the Demon Hunter connects with me again, I'll use my Time Dilation and my Self-Heal. I'm going to dispel Plum out of that Searing Glare and the Cage, and jump to him to get a thing of the Nullifying Shroud, get Dream Breath on all of us, and then I'm going to use my Deep Breath, try and get over here and hit them both with the Fire Breath, and it looks like we got Lay on Hands. You can see me trying to do just big damage to this Paladin here, casting Disintegrate, and we want to get his bubble. There's the bubble, so really good. We got Lay on Hands and bubble there, so now it's just a matter of me living until, we can reconnect with some damage. There's the Time Dilation, there's my Self-Heal. I'm going to cast Spirit Bloom here, and I should probably just hover out of here. I don't know why I'm just trying to stand here and tank them. I think I was trying to bait the Holy Paladin, but it's kind of, again, I'm playing this one really, really greedy. I don't know why I'm playing this one so greedy. So right here, I need to dispel Plum out of that cage. Looks like I'm going for the dispel. Accidentally ran into the fear like a doofus. I don't think that trinket was very good, because if I get caught in a full Hodge, which it doesn't look like it's going to happen, but right there, if I got caught in a full Hodge immediately after that trinket, that could have been really, really bad, because I didn't have any outs. But yeah, ended up working out. And this match is a case study in how you can have the worst opener possible. So right there I get rooted. I'm going to get pulled over here. I'm going to try and kill the static field totem. He's going to cast Hex, and he actually Aura Masteried for it, and I kicked into the Aura Mastery because he cast it mid-cast. So great opener by him, but man, not a great opener for us. And then the Warlock was able to port before I could get my deep breath, so honestly, it doesn't get much worse in that opener. But I did at least get the fire breath. Once again, running the Dispel talent, it's super important to be able to take off, you know, especially if you're fighting a Resto Druid and stuff like that. Don't have my kick for this Hex, unfortunately. I'm trying to use my Verdant Embrace. I want to get out of this giant demon swing, and I'm going to pull Plum actually over here, and he's going to pull the Warlock with us, just so we're not playing on top of that big giant Fell Guard over there, because it does stun over and over again, and it does decent damage if you stand in it. So right here, just trying to pop a few heals. I'm going to cast Fire Breath on the Warlock. Looks like I got everything in it to get feared, but Plum's going to win that 1v1, so I'm just kind of like, I'm not super worried about that one. We do have time dilation. We have most of our cooldowns still, but a really unfortunate opener for us because they have most of their cooldowns as well. They both still have Trinket. Looks like they got the Thunderstorm on Plum. There's the grounding. Right here I'm going to kick the Warlock, which I don't know if that's the best play. I should probably just hold it. Going for the Fire Breath, trying to get it on both of them. Looks like it dispelled off Earth Shield only from the Shaman, and he's doing a good job of like refreshing stuff. Right here I get hexed, and I'm just trying to hold as many cooldowns as I can. Plum's using his AMS. I'm going for the Sleepwalk. He does kick me at the last second, so I might just recast it here. Remember, he can Tremor it. He's going to Lightning Lasso instead. But again, Plum's going to win this 1v1 most of the time, or I can just Emerald Communion. So I'm going to Emerald Communion here. And it looks like Plum stole Fear from the Warlock, which is a really good play. So he was able to fear the Shaman, and he really wasn't expecting that. I'm going to go over here and try and Sleepwalk. He kicked that one, and it looks like he kicked the Warlock. There's the link from them. I'm going to do Spirit Bloom and then cast the big Fire Breath on them to try and dispel them. So it looks like we got Earth Shield off of both of them that time. Plum stole Fear again, which is really, really good. And I have Oppressive Roar, so I'm going to go into the Deep Breath here. I missed the Warlock again. So this one's just been a disaster, but we do come out with the win. So it's just one of those things. Some matchups you just, I don't know, you have a bunch of mistakes. Alright, and this last match is a rematch against the Resto Shaman Warrior team, and this time he is playing Fury. He gets a really good opener on me, and so I actually have to use Rewind and my Self-Heal and Obsidian Scales too, so overlapped a bunch of stuff on that one, so not the opener that we want at all. Also think I've been calling Rewind Reversion this whole time on accident. Reversion's just the hot. Oops. But yeah, so they got a really good opener there, and now he swaps to Plum. He's doing big damage on Plum. You can see why this is just a really, really bad matchup for us. He is just chunking us with damage here, but I am able to kind of stabilize and pick us up. I'm super DR'd on stuns, so I'm not worried about that. He misses his kick on me, and it does give me precog for just a second. So I probably need to cast Spirit Bloom and then Verdant Embrace to Plum. I'm going to root this guy first. And I'm over here, and I'm probably going to use Oppressive Roar. Got the Oppressive Roar, and then I'm trying to do the double stun into the combo to kind of purge them. Looks like it didn't get the Earth Shield off of the Shaman, or maybe he reapplied it instantly. Right here you can see me trying to cast a little bit of damage on the Warrior, and I think that I'm not sure what that little icon is that keeps popping up that looks like his trinket. I don't know if that's like an on-use trinket or what. Going for the sleep on the Shaman. Plum is going to pop his IBF for a little bit of damage reduction, and the Warrior is going to swap to me. I blinked out of there to try and get away from him. You can see he is doing big damage again. Definitely need to cast Obsidian Scales, and I look like I'm trying to just tank him this time with Spirit Bloom and everything, so ooh, that's kind of ballsy with just using that and the time dilation. Trying to slow him a little bit with Disintegrate. There's the Obsidian Scales. So right here I'm just kind of hard casting Chrono Flame. I'm pulling Plum over here just so I can get out of the way, and it actually got me away from the Warrior there for a second. I don't know whether he was going to peel his Shaman and now he's having a hard time reconnecting. He does lock me on Spellfrost. I have 34 seconds left on Oppressive Roar. I'm trying to run up here and hit them both with the Fire Breath just to dispel the Shaman, so it looked like he instantly reapplied Earth Shield, so he's doing a good job this time of just keeping it up constantly. And right here I am going to use my Blink. Warrior's going to reconnect instantly. It's getting super sketchy here. I did pop my self-heal. I need to dispel Plum out of that root, but I'm trying to kind of just get away from the warrior. He's going to grip him off here for a second, and we're trying to reconnect to the Shaman. Looks like there's recklessness on me. He's going to charge again. I am going to use Verdant Embrace on myself just so I can get the Nullifying Shroud up for a second. We are losing badly on mana because I used my Emerald Communion so early, but it is coming back up in like 11 seconds. Right here, Plum decides to blind the warrior and let me catch up for a second because I am super far behind in heals. I'm trying to hit the Shaman with the Oppressive Roar. He does dispel it off, unfortunately, before we can get the CC on him. So right here, I'm going for the Spirit Bloom to try and pick up Plum. There's the Recklessness, trying to do a little bit of damage while I can, and sleep the Shaman. I have Deep Breath available, so honestly probably worth using it because dampening is super high, so there's a lot of value in that damage, but we do end up taking down the warrior because the dampening was just so high. So fun games. I don't know if I like this comp better than the Preservation Windwalker, but it's definitely really good. We just have to get used to playing it and make sure we can pull off the combo every single time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, helps me out a ton, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.